So welcome to this episode of the Ninth Grade Experience podcast. We're going to continue today with our look at different clubs and organizations here at Emmaus High School. We've had some opportunity now. We're kind of in our second month of school. We're inching towards coming back here live and in person. So one of the things that makes Emmaus High School pretty unique is our wide range of clubs and activities. And today we have two seniors here to talk to us about the Economics and Investment Club, one that I wasn't a whole lot aware of that we had something like this. So I'm really interested to learn about it too. So I'm joined today by Alexzander, Toto, and Sam Comfort. So thanks a lot, guys, for joining us and giving us a little bit of information about the Economics and Investment Club.
Yeah, no problem.
So one of the questions we always like to ask everyone when they first come in is, describe your ninth grade experience. So now you are one of the first non-freshmen, non-adults we have ever had on the podcast while it's been going on. So I'll be interested to hear your take on what was your ninth grade experience like here at Emmaus High School. So whoever wants to go first can kind of just jump right in and tell us what it was like.
I can go first. Obviously, like most freshmen, I was really nervous, like fitting in, making friends, and like handling the increased workload. But like one main point that I would say is always ask questions and always talk to your teachers for help, because that's literally the best thing you can do if you're struggling in class. And then one thing I would suggest for freshmen is to join as many clubs as you can. As a freshman, I was in Red Cross, Interact, Future Business Leaders America, and Student Government. And they're all really fun, but it also helped me make new friends, and it also helped me reconnect with friends that went to Lower Macungie Middle School.
Cool. So that was Sam. And then Alex, how about you? What was your ninth grade experience like here at Emmaus High School?
Yeah, I agree with Sam. I was also nervous for probably the first a while in freshman year, but yeah, definitely get involved. I mean, just because it's your freshman year, high school flies by, so definitely get involved in everything as soon as you can. I wasn't involved as much actually as a freshman. I started getting involved later, and it definitely is a better experience, like the more you're involved in. I think it gives you great experiences that you'll be able to use later on. And obviously it looks good on resumes and stuff like that. So it's a great thing to do. Just get involved in as much as you can.
Okay, so we always talk to our guests. Our guests are always saying, get involved, get involved. So we always talk about that. So one other question for Alex before we let him go. We were talking before we started recording, and I recognize his last name, and I have his sister in my ninth grade science class. So Alex, what was the one piece of advice, maybe real or not real, that you gave to your sister before she started at Emmaus High School to kind of ease into the transition?
I mean, I think some people exaggerate how the workload between middle school and high school. It's still school. It's still the same thing. Don't get too worried about it. Just work as hard as you can. Keep your GPA up, and just ask questions, do as well as you can in your classes, and just work hard.
So no, you didn't tell her that there's fake stuff places or not to go in certain spots of the building. No, no stories.
Maybe if we were in person, I would have, but
that's true too. So let's get into talking about your club. That's the reason you're here, but lots of great tips there about your ninth grade year. So describe to me what the Economics and Investment Club is. It seems like it's a very unique club at the high school level because, not a lot of people have their own money to invest, and, people are just learning the basics of economics in high school. But what is your club all about?
Yeah, I can answer that. Through the Economics Investment Club, students will be able to delve into the basics of economics, investment, money management, and other financial topics. Members this year will also participate in a stock portfolio management simulation and a competition. So you'll work with teams, and you'll just manage fake money, but you'll be able, it's real time with the stock market. So you'll see gains and losses that you create. And then also this year that we're going to try to get some volunteers, some speakers to come in the club and just talk about their experience in the business world. So that's something to look forward as well.
Do both of you guys have an idea that you might want to go into business in college or in the future, what you're kind of interested in?
Yeah, right now I'm leaning towards accounting, but that can always change when I go to college, but I'm focusing on business probably.
Okay. And Alex, how about you? Do you have some sort of, you want to be an entrepreneur or business sense, or is there a reason you're kind of involved in the club?
I'm actually probably not gonna like study business in college, but I think that's one of the great things about the club. There's a lot of people that are and aren't going to. It's just I think it's great like knowledge you should have, um, whether you're going into that field or not. I think it's just always a good experience and good to know about.
So I gave the guys a list of questions beforehand. This is not one of the questions, so let's see how fast they think on the fly here. But just what if what is one thing that you've learned from participating in the club that maybe you can carry forward with you, or like something that you maybe didn't understand or even think about, like in the fields of like economics and investment, that you, now that you've participated a little bit, you're like, oh, that's kind of cool, or makes some more sense, or has shaped something that you're thinking about for the future.
Yeah, I think one of the things I've learned is how to manage risk while investing because I think there's a lot of like these crazy articles you read about how people made like millions of dollars in like 1 month trading stocks, and I think you learn how like to realistically invest and how to probably manage your risk and not lose all your money if you're gonna try investing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I think some people think like the stock market and just making money is super easy, but there's tons of risk with it. And I've learned like there's blue chip stocks. Those are like really like they always do well. So if you're like just starting out, I would try to invest into a blue chip stock or just a stock that continuously goes up over time.
So it's, it's really interesting listening to you guys talk. And it's like, you see all this stuff on the news, you see, even with things going on in government and politics today about economics and investment and those kinds of things. And it's really cool that in the high school level, you can kind of get to learn a little bit about that. I think that's, pretty interesting what you said there, Alex, about like, you see these people on, maybe on Instagram and they're like, oh, I made $1 million in a month, but that's like not the reality of the situation a lot of times with investment. So I'm sure that when kids come to that, they kind of see these and it's like, oh, I only made, I bought the stock and it only went up by a quarter and I only made $1. Like, that's not the way that this is supposed to go. I'm supposed to be rich buying stock. So I'm sure you kind of run into that a lot too. So it's, as a ninth grader, so we focus on ninth graders here on the podcast. So as a ninth grader, I'm coming in from middle school and maybe I don't know a whole lot about investments or economics or whatever. So why should I, as a ninth grader, want to be a part of the economics and investment club?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like what I said before, whether you're planning on like majoring or studying business later, I think it's going to be like you should know how to invest and manage your money no matter what you're going to do after high school. And then in terms of what freshmen do, everyone pretty much does the same thing at the club. We usually participate in a stock simulation. So whether you're like a beginner or you know some things, it's a great way to get some experience because it's synced with the real life stock market and you have like fake money basically and you buy stocks and you basically can watch how the stock market works, like what makes things rise and fall and how to manage your money and your portfolio. So that's usually, I mean, it's a great way to get experience without using real money.
Yeah. A lot of money, money that people don't really necessarily have to invest in stocks. And I wonder too, if like, you hear like, oh, invest in Google, invest in Apple, but I don't even think people realize like how expensive it is to buy like one share of like a Google stock or one share of an Apple stock. Yeah. Their companies make, it seems like trillions of dollars, but for you to be an investor in those clubs, it's not, you got to have a lot of money in the game to start before you can, reap the benefits of the Google stock and the Apple stock and all the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple like quick questions here to tie up the loose ends and kind of give people where they can find out all the information. Like, is there anything special that you guys are doing with like things with like the election or going forward, like, that kind of thing with like different candidates or looking at like, how stocks and investments are going to be affected by some of the things going on currently in the world? Like, have you guys met yet and kind of talked about any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we always try and tie the current events to how it affects the stock market, because they do always affect the stock market. The election is definitely one of those. So yeah, we'll definitely talk about how it affects, because you only see it once every 4 years. So it's definitely something kind of unique that we'll be able to talk about this year.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So for our listeners and viewers out there that want to kind of, maybe this has piqued their curiosity a little bit. Now, we always have to add the disclaimer that like, just because you're going to this club doesn't mean you're going to wind up making millions of dollars, and don't invest your own money if you don't have it, all those kinds of things. But if I'm listening to this and I'm interested about attending your meetings, like where should I go? Are there going to be virtual meetings? Like what day of the week? So give people that are listening a little bit of information on how to find the Economics and Investment Club.
Yeah, we'll have a meeting on Tuesday, October 20th on 2:35 via Zoom, and you can join our Schoology group, and the code is W3RS-3FMF-T4M5V. And if you have any questions, you can contact Mr. Parrish, and also we'll have it on the announcement so you can find the code there as well.
Okay. So lots of different ways to contact, and you're going to be virtual to start here.
Yes.
Even when the kids come back, or if we come back in the 2 weeks there. And do you meet every Tuesday, or is it like once a month, twice a month? How often will your group meet? Or do you not know yet?
We don't really know yet because we all have like really tight schedules. But right now we have a meeting on October 20th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll put this will be out, tomorrow, probably Friday. So we'll give people a chance to see that beforehand. But like Sam said, check out the announcements. All the stuff will be listed there, the Schoology page, and then the Zoom link and all the other stuff. So guys, before we go, one last, do you have any like hot tips, or like, I have like a couple dollars in my pocket here itching to do something with, like, what can I strike it rich here with in the next couple of days?
I mean, honestly, investing is like a bit of a waiting game. So I don't think you can turn like a couple dollars into a lot of money right away. So,
but you know what?
I would say you have to be patient.
You know what? That's a great answer. I'm glad you didn't give away, and tell people and give them that. I know we talked a lot about being patient and that kind of stuff. So I'm glad that you stuck to your line. You kind of didn't want to give me the real stuff. But if you I don't know, maybe they're saving the insider secrets for the club meeting. So go on the 20th, check it out. They'll tell you how to what you got to do. So once again, thanks to Sam and Alex for taking some time out to talk to us about the Economics and Investment Club. And as they said, the first meeting is next Tuesday, the 20th, and they gave you all the Schoology and Zoom link information there. So guys, thanks a lot for talking with us today, and good luck for the school year.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome to part 2 of this episode of the Ninth Grade Experience podcast. So one of the cool things that I am doing this year, in addition to our podcast, is I'm the advisor of 2 different clubs. So I kind of have an advantage here to get some people on. One of the clubs that I am the advisor of is the Game Club, and we can talk about that in a different episode. But the one that we're going to focus on today is Buzz Magazine. We actually just got done with our first meeting of the school year, and I have a couple people that wanted to hang around and give you a little bit of information about Buzz Magazine, and try to encourage you to join it and get some, information and feedback on what it's all about. So we have Briahna, Natalie, Chanelle, Michaella, and Avery are all here to join us. So ladies, thank you very much for joining us. And then as you kind of will talk a little bit, usually we ask everybody to describe their ninth grade experience as the first thing that we ask them to do. So when you want to jump in, if you want to briefly talk to us about your ninth grade year and kind of what it was like, you can do that. Make sure you just identify yourself by name, because we do have audio listeners as well too. So if anyone wants to talk about their ninth grade year here at Emmaus High School or wherever you were, feel free to jump in.
Hi, I'm Natalie. I'm at 10th grade. So my freshman experience was it was okay. Like, Buzz Magazine was one of the big parts of my freshman experience at Emmaus. It shaped a lot of me. I've gotten closer with some of my friends, and I also gained friends along the way through Buzz Magazine, but it also helped develop more of a fashion sense for me and how to like experiment with like new clothing and stuff.
Cool. Anybody else want to jump in and talk about their ninth grade experience?
I will.
So,
Okay. Do you want to go, Chanelle?
no, you can go. You're good.
Okay. Okay. So my ninth grade experience, I felt like much like an outcast kind of because it was the first year of high school, and I know everyone gets like nervous to go to high school, but it's not as bad as people make it sound. It was kind of Buzz Magazine, like Natalie said, really shaped me too because it really helped me like learn to express myself and not be judged for it. And I met like a lot of close people during it, and it was really nice. And it was just amazing because I was still trying to like find who I was, like what kind of groups I wanted to be in. And Buzz Magazine really just like helped me gain lots of self-confidence and just made me feel like a better person and not so much like invisible or like that outcast that I felt before the club.
Cool. And we have a couple more people here that might want to chime in.
So for my ninth grade experience, I went to a different school and I moved here towards the end of ninth grade. And it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was, especially because the school is big, so I thought it was going to be really difficult. But there's a lot of good people at our school, and that helped me through the way of finding how our school is and how our school works and going through the clubs. And I didn't join this club until now, and I'm a junior now, but I'm really happy that I did, and I'm really excited to see what we can do with this club.
So just so we identify everyone. So Natalie was the first person that spoke. She identified herself. And then we have Briahna, who is our second person. And then Chanelle just spoke. So just remember for our other people that are here, if you want to just say your name real fast to let us know who you are, if you're going to chime in. So we have two more people left. Who's going to be next? Everyone's pointing at each other for people that can't see the video.
Okay, so my name's Michaella Moyer, and my ninth grade, it was a lot less scary than I expected. I mean, the school was really big and there were a lot of people, so I did anticipate that'd be a lot harder, but it wasn't. I had my friends here from middle school and elementary school, so I had people I knew, which was a big help. And then the one thing I can say is join clubs, do everything, go to sports games, go to dances. You don't have to go with a date. Just go with your friends and have fun. You're going to realize that you're going to miss it once you get older. Like, I didn't go to all of them, and now I really wish I did, because going to the few I went to, it was so fun just with all my friends and everything, and I loved it. And I loved joining Buzz last year. Actually, Briahna said that I should join it because I like doing my makeup and I like my fashion, so she told me to join it, and it was really fun, and I definitely recommend joining it. It was so much fun for the time that I was in it.
And we have one more person here. Avery is this is where she has to jump in unless she's not going to say anything.
Hi, I'm Avery. I'm a junior. I joined Buzz Magazine in my freshman year. I didn't really express myself that much because it was kind of like I was a little closed off my freshman year. I didn't really talk to anyone. I kind of just wanted to get through it. So it wasn't that bad for me. Other than that, join clubs. Like Michaella said, it's really important. You'll meet some pretty great people. So, yeah.
So a lot of great advice here from everyone that kind of spoke, and it's weird because every time we talk to different people, either adults or people in the school, like it always comes back to this feeling of being included with different things, and all of you spoke about this idea of joining clubs, which is something we always try and encourage our freshmen to do. So hopefully they are listening to this, and this is a great time to kind of jump into, like, I know we had our first meeting today and talked about what Buzz Magazine can become and might become, but can you, whoever wants to kind of jump in here, and just so people have an idea of what it is for the most part, like the general overview of what Buzz Magazine's all about, if you want to jump in and tell people that are listening or watching what Buzz Magazine is and what we hope it can become this year. I saw Avery had a hand up. She's still playing the school rules of raising your hand for the Zoom call. So thanks, Avery. Go ahead.
So Buzz Magazine used to be a photo shoot. You just went to photo shoots, you wrote articles, and we put it in one big magazine at the end of the year. But this year we're thinking about changing things up a little bit, making things different, making things more interactive and more inclusive for everyone.
And how are we kind of thinking about doing that? Like, I know we've had a lot of discussions here in the last hour or so of what that might look like, but just so the people that are listening, like, what are some areas that if they're interested in certain things, like what can a student who's in ninth grade what are some of the things that we think we might be able to do this year?
So there's obviously the fashion and makeup's point of view from it, but we're also looking into like other categories such as pop culture, music playlists, recipes, other stuff that would get people interested into joining the magazine.
Awesome. And I know, Briahna, you had your hand up there. Since you've recruited other people before, let's hear the recruiting pitch. What can people expect from Buzz, or where do you hope we go as Buzz Magazine this year?
So I don't really have a recruitment speech, but I'll try my best. Basically, I just think that Buzz Magazine, what we're going to be doing in the future is, I think we're going to be starting to give like a positive kind of like perspective and stuff to people, because I know, coming from personal experience, I know it's hard to like find self-confidence. I know it's hard to like find like beauty in yourself and get over those insecurities, and like at the end of the day, Buzz Magazine really helped me a lot do that, because everyone in this group, everyone in this club is just so supportive and so encouraging. And I just think Buzz Magazine is going to grow really good to be just like a really good positive influence to everyone, because we're going to try to do some Instagram takeovers. We're going to try to do podcasts. We're going to try to do just anything that can just be a positive influence to this club. And I'm just like really excited for the future of Buzz.
Cool. Anybody else you sold yourself short. That was a pretty good sales pitch. I maybe we'll cut that part out and put it on the announcements or something. That was pretty good. So don't sell yourself short there. Chanelle, you had your hand up there.
So I think another thing too, like just branching out into and exploring different things, because like I know for me, I was a little nervous to join, only because I thought we're gonna have to be just like writing a lot, and I'm not the best writer. But I think when I brought up ideas of doing a bunch of stuff and everyone was really supportive, like that was really helpful. And I think we're going to be able to, even with the pandemic and going virtual, we're going to be able to do a lot of virtual things, and like YouTube videos, social medias, podcasts, maybe even blogs and stuff like that. And I think I think we should try, and we're going to try to make it for everybody to have something to show their skills and for everyone to have something to do.
And Michaella, our last person, still with the hand raised, awesome. Go ahead.
I just wanted to add, this is not just a girls only club, because I feel like people definitely think, oh, it's photography, it's photo shoots, it's makeup. So people automatically think, oh, it's just for girls. It's not just for girls. Guys can do it too. Since we are starting to do more inclusive, you can do whatever you want. If you're a guy and you want to come and do makeup for the photo shoots, go for it. Do it. You're going to be supported no matter what. We're going to hype you up about it. You can go take your pictures. You can do your makeup. If you want to join and do it, you do it.
So that's a great spot to put in there, because, as a man advising the club, I'm sure that there was probably some second guessing from people like, oh, what does this guy want to advise like the fashion club for? And, we are really trying to move it away from just people thinking that it's just fashion shoots and those kinds of things. Like, if you are a guy listening and you are into sneakers, like, we are looking for sneakerheads. If you are into wearing, I don't know, what is it? Supreme stickers all over your backpack, and you are willing to pay $90 for a sticker, like, we want to talk to you. Like, if you are willing to, try to get on the sneakers app and get the newest Yeezys, like, please, we want to talk to you. Like, we want to include as many people in this as possible, because I think Michaela's right on. Like, fashion isn't just for women. Like, if you are a guy and you follow the NBA, like, those guys, when they weren't in the bubble, they were coming in all sorts of awesome get-ups and suits and like fashionable clothes. Like I think that it's really a lot of misconception that fashion is just for women. But I really, I hopefully if there are guys listening to this, and that'll be one of our we're really going to try to get to that. So I appreciate you said that, Michaella, that you're trying to, we're trying to really reach out to a wide range of people. And again, Briahna has her hand up. I can't help it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just wanted to state, if you are TikTok famous or the meme guy with the 1 million, we also want to talk to you.
Yeah, so we're looking to see if people are, however people are, we're trying to make connections. If you are TikTok famous or you have like a big following on Instagram or whatever, we're trying to figure out how we can spread the message of Buzz Magazine and kind of going from there. So we're really trying to expand our footprint more so than just a paper magazine. So we're kind of reaching the end of our time here. So if anyone wants to add in any last minute, like sales pitches, or you guys have all done a great job of talking about what Buzz has meant to you and how it's kind of helped you. Even a lot of you starting with your freshman year, or even people that are just coming here for the first time today, like what else, is there one other final thought here that you'd like to leave people with as we kind of move forward?
So like to the guy thing, we don't bite. We just bark at what we're trying to get, which is trying to get more people in. So we don't bite you. We only like bark at our priority.
And that's barking as friends. So yeah, so that's something that I don't know if we'll put that on our slogan, like we bark but don't bite. It might not be one of the Buzz Magazine slogans, but at least it will. I appreciate that one, Natalie. Anybody else have anything else that they want to add in? So I'm seeing all the head shaking no. So if you're listening, that's their sign for no. So just so everyone's clear, like when we have our meetings, we're going to be meeting Thursdays. It'll be all virtual. We're going to be meeting at 2:30. We will meet until everyone decides they want to leave. 3:30 is like our target time, but if people need to go at 3, they can go at 3. We're still here now at 3:45. So, we're open to the time here. So thanks to Briahna and to Natalie and to Avery and Michaella and Chanelle here for staying a couple minutes after extra with us to talk about Buzz Magazine. We're all really excited about where it's going to go this year. And hopefully you can reach out to us and join us here. The Schoology code and everything is on the announcements. But if you want to get involved, like please reach out. If you're guy, girl, fashion savvy, fashion faux pas, whatever you are, we're looking for anyone. If you're a web developer, we're looking for those kind of people too. So if any skills that you have, we're looking for. So everyone, thanks a lot. And if you all want to unmute and say goodbye to everybody, you can definitely do that now.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
All right.